Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the A News series. Today we are going to talk about the Oscars. We are also going to discuss the brief history of it, the current situation related to it, the eligibility and whatnot, from the perspective of your examination, specifically from the perspective of GS mains paper first and second as well as third. Now, it's an overspanning topic. That is why it is important that we understand the cultural and soft powers that India is now having over the world, with Naatu Naatu winning the Oscars and The Elephant Whisperers winning the Oscars for Best Documentary also. So without any further ado, let us look at the many topics that we are going to discuss step by step. First of all, let us see the news. So what is the news? The news is that winners in 24 categories have taken their Academy Awards home, that is the Oscars. 𝐾𝐨𝐲𝐬𝐿 and Guneet Mongas, The Elephant Whisperer, bagged an award for the Best Documentary Short Film. Naatu Naatu from SS Rajamouli's RRR wins the Best Original Song category. So, without, talking about the soft power that India is having right now all over the world, it is, it's a cultural impact that India is putting all over the world. Now, the Academy Awards is colloquially known as the Oscars. It recognizes the excellence in cinematic achievements in the United States film industry as assessed by the Academy's voting membership. Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, this is the award that has been instituted and then colloquially known as the Oscars. We will talk about that as well. These are the top tier awards, but they are not, they do not have any monetary reward alongside them. And anybody who is winning the Oscars is suffering from Oscars bump. Okay. Now, the eligibility is that a film has to be exhibited in a theatre for at least a week in Los Angeles. The exceptions to this are foreign language movies. Now, these are submitted by the country of origin and then they need not to be featured in the US. The documentaries and the short films are officially submitted by their producers. And the music category needs the artist to submit a form to participate. So, Naatu Naatu has gone through that particular, you can say, process. The first Academy Awards or the Oscars were held in 1929. All That Breathes and The Elephant Whisperers, they had both secured nominations, but the thing is that we are of course having an impact all over the world with respect to our cultural importance that India is gaining. So Elephant Whisperers has won the Best Documentary Feature Film. Okay, and SS Rajamouli's RRR secured one nomination in the Best Original Song category for Naatu Naatu, which it won. RRR did not receive any other nomination. Moving on. Now, who designed this statute? We have to know about that as well. MGM art director Cedric Gibbons famously grabbed a linen napkin to sketch the Oscar, and that the statue was there of a knight standing on a reel of film, holding a crusader's sword. Thereafter, the sculptor, the American sculptor George M. Maitland Stanley, he gave a 3D form to it, where the 5 spokes of the reel, they stand for the 5 original branches of the Academy. These 5 branches are actors, directors, producers, technicians and writers. And it is also believed, or it has been claimed by the Mexican actor and filmmaker Emilio El Indio Fernandez that he had some hand in modeling the statue for the Oscars in the 1920s. The statute is actually 13.5 inches tall. It weighs 8.5 pounds and it is gold-plated solid bronze. The Academy basically switched to Britannia Medal, which is a pewter-based alloy during evolving period of time. During a metal shortage in World War I, the statues were made of painted plaster for 3 years, which the awardees later changed onto gold-plated metal. Okay. Now, Academy Award of Merit, it was called when it was instituted, and that was adopted in 1939. Seeing the trophy for the first time, Academy librarian Margaret Herrick, he remarked that this statute looked like Uncle Oscar, and that well resonated and it got carried on. So in 1934, Hollywood columnist Sidney Skolsky used this term Oscar in one article, okay, and that was about Katharine Hepburn's first win of the Oscars, okay. And now if we talk about how and where is it made, when it is originally cast, it is molded and polished at C.W. Shumway & Sons Foundry in Batavia, Illinois in 1982. The production was later assigned to R.S. Owens and Company in Chicago. Now, since 2016, the statues have been produced by Polish Talix Fine Art Foundry, a 105,000 square foot factory in Rock Tavern, New York. It could be asked in prelims. And the entire process actually takes 3 months. It begins with the creation of digital Oscar, which is made using a 3D printer, and the figure is then cast in a wax. It's kind of a lost wax technique. Once it cools, each wax statue is coated with a ceramic shell, and then it is left to cure for weeks before being fired at 1600 degrees Fahrenheit. Now the statues are then cast in liquid bronze, cooled, sanded and then polished, then sent to Brooklyn to be electroplated in 24 karat gold by Ebner Technology. And awards are only given in 24 categories, and each year 50 statues are produced. In case it is a tie, there is a tie or multiple winners in any of the categories that happens. Okay. Then now it is important to know all these things because it could be asked in your prelims examination. Now one very important fact is that it was once believed that a canine could also win it, a German Shepherd. But later on it was decided no, only humans will win it. Okay. So this is a slide, not very important, but just a fun fact. Now the person with the most Oscars ever is Walt Disney. He took home 26 Oscars. The most awarded woman in Oscar history is American costume designer Edith Head, who won 8 Academy Awards in the Best Costume Design category. So I hope you understood this topic. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.